Welcome
Welcome
to Shade
to
in the
Shade in the
City.
City.
I'm Treese,
It's Nels.
and we are jumping into our review of Ready to Love,
Oh,
guys.
I can't wait to get into it.
I know it should be interesting. A little birdie told me more than one person might go home. So I'm interested to see. So yes, guys, thank you for joining us. Please make sure that you hit that like button as you're jumping into the review.
And
Make
that
sure that
subscribe
you are
button.
subscribed. And yes, let's get into it. Let's get shady, y'all.
So we
So
are in
we're
a
seeing
gentleman's
the
lounge.
fellas. We're gonna meet up
And
in the men's lounge.
they slimming down, y'all. They getting real slim.
We're
Slim and
at the
trim.
final Fantastic Four. Nephew Tommy comes in. So we're down to the Fab Four, guys. Let me run it back. We are with Paul, Demetrius, Donovan, Clifton. Nephew Tommy gives the guys an update on Tina and basically lets them know that she stood there. Believe it or not, guess what? She stood my ass up too. And he lets them know that Tina clearly is not ready to love. So Paul is like, well, I really don't know what to do because my connection with Carmen is clearly not there. What was the other person? Tina's gone.
It was Tina, and he wish he would have dedicated time to
A
someone
lot
else
more time to getting to know Takia. So he knows that he's pressed for time in order to stay in this process. One thing that I did think was interesting, and it may mean something, it may not mean anything, but I will say that Nephew Tommy made it a point to say if he felt like anybody was playing with this process, he would remove them himself.
He did say that.
So I feel like there's a reason he said that. So maybe I'm wrong, but anyway.
Could have been because of Tina.
But he said that after Tina. So that's what made me think like, is he going, you know what I mean? But yeah, so he basically lets them know that it is time to meet the family and introduce them to, whoever you guys choose out of your family members, but let them kind of help you gauge how this person would work for you.
Not that they're just ready to love, but that they're ready to love you.
Right.
All right. Exactly. All right, nephew. All right.
Okay. So yeah, Nephew Tommy lets us know we're about to meet the family. And then we see our first meetup. Sorry, y'all. Clifton meets up with his uncle Maurice and his cousin Diane. And they look like very black don't crack, y'all. They look good. So he basically gives them a rundown about what he's been doing this whole dating process and tells them he hopes that they can help him make a decision. He does let us know that he is not super comfortable with doing this, which I always think this is funny. Clifton is always so uncomfortable when it comes to introducing or meeting people because he wasn't here for the exes, but that made sense to me. But I guess the whole family thing, he ain't really here for it either.
You gotta think they're still new. Like this is a short process.
I guess.
And you're bringing this person to meet your family that, maybe you only bring them to meet serious.
I was going to say most people don't only bring serious, people to meet their family. So I
haven't had enough time to really gauge. So I felt uncomfortable bringing them home.
So Joy arrives and, they greet each other with a cute little kiss. You can definitely tell they're giving, what is it? Big couple energy. Okay. So basically she sits down and Uncle Maurice asks her, what made you get into this process? And basically she lets them know Clifton had told them prior to her arriving that she was a singer, entertainer, or whatever. So they were like, she was like, basically my career, I feel like I've invested myself so much in that. And like, basically it's time. Like I've let my life kind of get away from me.
Hiding behind her career.
Right. But Clifton's like, I don't have to hold my tongue with her. He's like, I don't have to sugarcoat anything. And he's like, and I love that about her. And they just talk about how they have very real conversations. And she even says, like, sometimes we'll be talking, I'll be like, I've never had this conversation with somebody before. So whatever they're talking about, I don't know, is very deep for her. It's resonating with her. So I'm here for it. And then I thought it was interesting that she also said that she never has to tell, he checks all her boxes and she never has to tell him. She never has to tell him what she wants. He just knows, or he just already has it. And I said, okay, Clifton, come through. So,
no, you know what I liked about this scene? I think it was the uncle that asked, that what if, he had to take on the responsibility of
having his kids,
of his two children. And she was like, oh no, that would be great. Like that she used to teach children and, she was pretty prominent, in her nieces and nephews' lives. So I was like, God damn it, Joy, you just
I know, right? Can y'all feel the love? I'm here for it. So then I thought it was pretty sad. Uncle Maurice says Clifton is a workaholic and, they're clearly both outgoing people. And with her career, as she already discussed, how are you going to be able to find balance in your relationship? That's when Joy lets us know she only lives here 6 months out the year. The other 6, she's in Mexico. I said, well, sound like Clifton like to travel. Sound like he need to take his ass to Mexico for 6 months and hang out with, but I know he can't do that. He got, kids, a job, whatever, but he can go visit, but it definitely is probably going to put some strain on the relationship. And Uncle Maurice
said why. She never said the reason she lives in Mexico for 6 months out the year, did she?
It makes me think that she's performing out there. That's what it gives me. That maybe she has a gig out there and she performs out there and that's her thing. That's like her regular, and that's how she get her coin. I ain't mad at it if that's the case. Look, we got people that move to beautiful locations once they found out they could work remotely and they didn't have to go nowhere, okay? And they could be in paradise and still do their work. So I am not mad at Joy for hopping on that wagon, whatever she's doing. But Uncle Maurice lets her know that is going to be kind of, difficult on their relationship. And, Joy starts to tear up and says that basically she knows it's going to be difficult and it's pretty much long distance. And Clifton is like, well, they cut to him in the confessional and he's like, my family has a right. That's a valid concern. He's like, when I want to hold somebody at night, that's going to be difficult when you're in Mexico. So I don't know, y'all. This kind of added a little, everybody got bumps in the road and things that they go through in relationships. So I get it, but this is kind of, that's a big speed bump to go over. Basically, Joy says as she's about to leave, she's like, she enjoyed her time. She felt like she knew them already. And she said she could see herself at the family cookout. I said, okay, Joy, what's that called? Manifestation. You better claim it, girl. Yes, you may. And then Cousin Diane said she really liked her. And Uncle Maurice was like, she's very genuine. She's very genuine, forthcoming. He was like, you could tell that she's here for love. And I was like, yes, go ahead and put that seal of approval on Joy. Because,
and that was, so, he did. He said that, she was very sincere.
That's the word. Diane, I said genuine. He did say sincere.
Diane said that, you could see her like actually getting sad, knowing that she has to go.
Right.
And I think they were really, really feeling her. And then Clifton was like, yeah, but the distance, moving to Mexico was just not ideal for the relationship. So I was just like, but clearly Clifton already knew.
Right.
Already knew this. We just didn't know. Right. But I don't know. This is sound like a battle that they're gonna have to deal with. But he's clearly still in it with her.
I was gonna say, I feel like if they clearly have talked about it. That's one thing that I can appreciate. Clifton did not look like he was caught off guard by that information. So that's a good thing. They are communicating. And I think that if they want to work through it, they'll make it work.
Yeah.
So
So Donovan is going to meet up with Sabrina, I guess, to clear the air. He says that it's super awkward between them. And there's been no communication between him and Sabrina. But they need to talk because, you know, they have different ideas and different perceptions of each other.
Sabrina looked amazing. You always look amazing, but you look really good. I was like, go ahead, Sabrina. I don't know. I just feel like she's always slaying. She just, you know, even when she's not trying, like that looked like minimal effort.
You sound like you don't realize that's what Virgos do.
Bad. Okay.
It's natural. Bad. It's natural. So Sabrina says that she's dreading seeing Donovan after the way he attacked her and her character. She don't trust his ass. Understandably. So they have a sit down. They're sitting down, it looks like, for lunch. And he gets right into it. He's like, you know, he respects the process. And at the same, and he has the same respect for her. But he doesn't feel like it's reciprocated. And I felt like Sabrina was just kind of listening to everything that he had to say. And I love that. Like, I love that she can respect that, you know, let him speak and get it all out till it's her turn. I ain't there yet. I ain't that grown yet.
I was gonna say I'm not there yet.
I'm not that grown yet, but I did take notice.
Look, but clearly he ain't either. But go ahead, we'll get into that.
So he says that, you know, he did take offense to the fact that she said that he wasn't ready to love, because if he wasn't, he wouldn't be on the show. He says that he was looking for a person who was honest, vulnerable, and consistent with him. And he doesn't feel like she's been any of that to him, as well as Demetrius.
I said, now you speaking up for your mans in them?
How you going to speak on her and somebody else's connection? Clearly, Demetrius don't feel that way. I don't know. I just thought that was kind of like, the fuck that got to do with you, homie? Why are you worried about the next man?
We got a lot of mind in the business that don't pay you on this show.
Exactly. He thinks that she's playing games, and so she can complain about whatever, but this is like, I don't know what the hell my notes say. It says this is a cash.
Oh no, he basically says that she's playing games and this is the chaos that she created.
Chaos. So Siri fucked me up. I'm sorry, y'all. It said cast. I didn't remember what the hell he said.
It be like that sometimes. Sometimes I be looking at my notes. I'm like, bitch, what? I would have been better off writing it.
So Sabrina is in a confessional. She's like, he is just sitting here like a bitter little, she said baby, but I'm gonna say bitch. A bitter little bitch. And
she says that he's acting very childish.
Yeah, she was like, I don't even know how to engage with him because he's acting so childish. I agree. Like, he's sitting there rolling his eyes and sucking his teeth, and
he's doing a lot.
Giving very much us energy. And like, he really doesn't want to be there, to be honest with you. So she says that he came in as a curveball, and she never hid the fact that Demetrius
was her main connection
for her. So apparently, you know, he feels like, you know, she backed off a little bit, and she's like, yeah, my reason for that was because you let it be known that you had a blossoming connection with Carmen. And you made it very clear that if I didn't let you know whether it was you or Demetrius, Carmen was who you was going to choose. So Donovan is in the confession.
He gave her an ultimatum, y'all.
Sorry, you got me fucked up.
You need to go to Netflix with that, boo.
And it's so sad because it seemed like initially when they first met, it was such a genuine connection, and it was really going to go somewhere. And now they're like enemies. So Donovan basically calls her a liar in the confessional and basically says, you know, he's losing interest in being there. It shows because he's being a dick. And he lets her know that he plans to move forward with Carmen. And basically, you know, he excuses himself. And Sabrina tells us in the confessional that Phil was right. Donovan is an asshole.
Ooh. I didn't catch what they bleeped out. I was like, Donovan is a what? Donovan's in a what? I was waiting. But okay, Donovan's an asshole. Sorry, Donovan. That's how Sabrina feels. Not how we feel, but that's how Sabrina feels.
So then Yes.
P.O. And again, y'all, I don't know if we have signed up. I didn't get the membership letter, but apparently somehow we have joined the Paul fan club. Okay. He is starting to win us over.
Growing on us, y'all.
And I'm yes, he grew on us. And I guess this is the point, right?
He grew on everybody else, so I don't feel bad.
Right. He grew on everybody else as well. And that goes to show you that first impressions really aren't any, because I would have never thought.
But what is it? It's smoke and mirrors.
Right. Paul, if y'all haven't figured out, meets up with Zakia. And she has a couple questions about the situation with Carmen.
Following that brunch. Y'all.
Right. Paul lets her know that Carmen asked what they were like, what he looks for intimately. And I can't remember. I didn't get what he said. Did you?
He says that Carmen asked. So yeah. Basically, Zakia had a lot of questions after that brunch, right? And he needs to explain himself basically. And he says that Carmen asked him what type of women does he like intimately, and the type of woman that he said is one that gives him fire when he walks into the room. And Carmen asked, "Does Zakia do that for you?" Paul, in return, says that
that's not your business.
And he says that Carmen tried to spin it, basically. And Zakia believes him because apparently
she doesn't believe anything that comes out of her mouth.
She's not 100% truthful, or she doesn't tell the whole truth, or whatever the case may be. I guess maybe stuff off camera. But Zakia already knows her character, and because of that, she believes what Paul is telling her. And she feels like she's bitter. We know that she thinks that she's bitter because actually Paul asked, like, you know, there's this tension or something between you two. And she feels like it's because of Eric, and Eric's not on the show anymore. And she's like, Eric was her sure thing. So she's upset. She mad at me.
And I just not to cut you off, I'm sorry.
I feel like it was before that, but I ain't gonna say.
My favorite, no, she definitely had it out for Zakia before that, to add on to your point, piggyback off that. But what I loved in the next clip, she says, if Carmen she basically asked about, well, what is his deal with Carmen now that all that has happened? And she said that if Carmen is the type of woman that you want, I am not the woman for you. I said, yes.
But you know what? Let me tell you something. I feel like even before she said it, Paul, they showed a clip of Paul basically showing the difference between her and Zakia. He's already noticed the difference. He said
Zakia is always classy,
and
Carmen is very surface and
superficial. So he's already noticed the difference, and this is why he's going after Zakia. My two favorite people are like back to back, Zakia and Sabrina. I just love that.
You're so funny. But yeah, so no, he lets her know he has no interest in pursuing Carmen, and that he's actually regretful that he spent so much time with Carmen, Tina, and really didn't work with her, and basically wants to, you know, try to strengthen their bond, and lets her know, I know it's like we're limited on time, but I'd like you to meet my family. And Zakia's I can tell Zakia, I don't know what her background is or whatever, but she probably comes from a similar family upbringing where you don't bring nobody to this house, or you don't introduce nobody to your family unless it is absolutely serious. So she was just like, I don't know, but you know what? I'm so appreciative that he views me highly enough to want to introduce me to his family that I'm going to hop aboard, because I know this process is different. And I said, this is why we love you, Zakia. This is why we're here for you. So start Donovan. And apparently we are meeting up with his mom, Rhonda, I believe it is.
Mama Rhonda.
And can I just say, we're here for Mama Rhonda.
We're affectionately calling her Mama Rhonda.
Right. We're affectionately calling her Mama Rhonda, but I wish we could like make her a regular on the show. But Anyway, so she comes in and obviously he's introducing Carmen. He's giving her little tidbits and saying Carmen's a little quirky. And his mom's a little taken aback, like, what you mean? What you mean by that? And he's like, no, don't take it in a bad
Yeah,
way.
because hello, y'all are from LA. Hell, y'all see all different types of people out there.
Right. Look, there's a lot of different type of people. So basically, no, then she asked, like, when was she born? Now that would be me. What's her sign? What is it like? That would have been me to my son. So I understand. I understand, Mama Rhonda. And so Carmen shows up. Carmen.
Yes, kudos. Look, I wish I had a hat because I would tip it off too.
Right. Do the assignments.
Yes, she did.
I have never done this. But girl, you just gave me some ideas. I respect this. I mean, I send men edible arrangements of things, but that's something they can eat. But no, but to bring flowers for Donovan and his mother, I thought that was absolutely beautiful. I said,
so normally, yes, you wouldn't give a dude flowers, but I love the fact that she brought flowers for the mother. And that's what she wanted to do, but it was like she didn't want to come empty-handed. For him.
And what I like, what that said, because I feel like and this is why I feel like we feel like as women, men don't want flowers, but they appreciate the gesture. They appreciate the thought. So I think what Carmen did by doing
that, or at least I would hope so, because I know that's how we think.
Right. So even when we don't like them funky flowers that you get us. So that's why I could appreciate, because I feel like it was almost like she's leveling the playing field. Like, yes, you're a man and I'm a woman, but I'm still come out here and put my best foot forward. I would expect you. So I'm going to give you the same thing that I would expect.
So when you take it out on the day, guess what I expect, sir?
We expect things from men that we would, because we do things in different ways. We don't do those things and we think, oh, well, that doesn't matter to them. But I feel like he appreciated it. I really did. And I think that was
kudos. So you feel in the way she was showing by example.
Right. She was showing by example. I'm going to treat you how I want you to treat me. Mm-hmm. Carmen, drop down in the comments. Let us know. Because I know you be in chats and stuff with everybody else. So I'm just saying, drop down in the comments. Let us know, boo. Was that what it was? But no, I thought it was really cute. And then Donovan's mom starts talking and Carmen's like, no, what is she talking about over there? Like,
stories. We wanted to hear it. And look, he's like, no, we ain't here for that. Carmen was like, I am.
And Carmen lets us know that really knowing someone, you got to know where they came from, i.e., mommy. And I think that she knows this. Carmen, we have something in common. Mothers of boys. Yes. If you know mommy and where they came from, then you probably gonna know why they are a lot like the way that they are. So I thought that was super dope for her to have that insight. Donovan's mom is like ready to get into it. And she says that he's spoiled rotten. And he's like, I would beg to differ. I don't think it's all that. And then she's like, would you like me to make a couple phone calls? I said, Mama Rhonda, come through with the receipts. Don't try me. Okay.
He seemed like he got real quiet after that.
Right.
So I like the fact that she was basically telling Carmen, I show my son values through actions. And she says, how do you show your son values?
She asked Carmen.
I didn't realize, first of all, I didn't even realize that Carmen had a son.
Yeah. But I thought she said she had two, but I know she has one.
Oh, okay. I was not aware. Mm-hmm. So she basically says that, she grew up basically, like getting thrift clothes and things like that. And
secondhand stuff.
Super excited. Yeah, like secondhand clothes. And she was super excited when she got something new. So she does try to show her son that people live in different ways, because we know Carmen got that bag.
And then I think Donovan's mom brings up the fact like, oh, so you and your son have been alone for a long time. Mm-hmm. With just y'all too, like the single parenthood or whatever. And she's like, yeah, probably about what she said, 8 years.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. So,
and Donovan, so she basically, his mother is basically saying, well, it's his loss, just like I tell just like I told Donovan. And Donovan actually got a little teary-eyed with Mama Rhonda bringing that up. Apparently, you know, I guess his father wasn't there. Carmen's kid's father isn't there apparently. And, you know, I think that they were able to connect on that. Donovan feels like Mama Rhonda is going back on her word because she always says that nobody's good enough for her son. And, you know, he's under the impression that Mama Rhonda really likes Carmen. So.
And she do. She do. After Carmen.
She wanted to exchange numbers with her.
And
she was trying to exchange numbers with Carmen.
After Carmen, that's why I said they could have sat down without Donovan. They actually just really are cool. Mm-hmm. And I can appreciate when you just have a natural bond with a woman and be like, oh, we forgot you was here. Oh, okay. But no. And then so as she, you know, Carmen leaves, Mama Rhonda says she is here for her.
She's impressed. She's
Carmen.
She said she is impressed.
Right. And she said, winner, winner, chicken dinner. That's it. She's a winner. Sabrina's coming in hot, y'all. So Sabrina and Demetrius meet up to discuss things after the brunch and the retreat. She tells him that she feels like there's a lot of alignment in what they want. She said that she loves the fact that they both want children, but children is not a deal breaker on their, you know, on their relationship. And I think that's very dope when you can make that conscious decision ahead of time. Basically, then she says that she wants to address the things that do bother her or the things that she's concerned about. And she said she feels like there's this weird power dynamic between them. We all know this. We've seen it. And Demetrius says that,
let's talk about that.
Right. Let's talk about that. And he said, you know, I kind of feel some type of way because I made it very clear to you that this is what my friend said. And I gave you my idea of what I wanted in a woman. And you're still hanging on to this.
And I'd let you know, I don't want a submissive woman. But this is still a thing.
And then basically she says, but I feel like you do. She then brings up basically that
he's such a leader. He's such a leader. You're such a leader, and it carries over in your romantic life, and you kind of expect someone to move the way you do. And to her, that's submission. He's like, I don't even know if that's being submissive, but to me, that's how I feel. It's submission.
So then she brings up that, you know, she feels like, you know, she brings up the last name and she's like, I feel like you would want someone to change their last name if you got married. And he's like, well, yeah, who wouldn't?
Isn't that normal?
Isn't that normal? And she's like, not so much.
Well, is it really?
That's what she said.
I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing. She lets us know that she also did not change her last name in her last marriage. But I don't know. So this is not a dig, okay? She is a fellow Virgo. Please do not take this as a dig, okay? All right?
No digging, okay.
But I feel like Marcel with this shit, okay? But I feel like when you are bringing up things that you did in your last marriage and your last marriage didn't work, I think it's kind of irrelevant.
I didn't want to say it, but I guess we got to do it.
I think it's kind of irrelevant. And I know that this is the thing that some men can hold on to. Oh, well, she didn't change her last name or what have you. Or can even say, just to appease you, that it's not a problem when it's really a problem. But
he even says, he's like, and she's like, it doesn't, I don't see a last name. She's like, we're building together. We're working together. I don't understand. And he said, but are we really together if you don't have my last name? Are we really together? I said, well, I don't agree with Demetrius too often, but you got my vote on this one, sir. I gotta give it to you on that one, Demetrius.
So she does say that, you know, her heart swells for Demetrius and she can't help but admire the man that he is and respect him for it. but she feels like they're, scrambling to make up for lost time. It was always kind of around. So I don't know if maybe like the feelings wavered or what.
I think because you remember he wasn't doing as much. He wasn't, that's why she was like, I need you to step it up. So I think that's why she's saying that they feel like they're scrambling for lost time, because it was like, we could have been having all these conversations and doing all these things, but you were kind of to the back, like you were just like, okay. And so now, you know what I mean? And because even Demetrius said in that scene that he was like, oh, it's nice to know where we are now that they're like locked in. And now he feels like he can, whereas Sabrina feels like it's lost time because you could have been doing this, but Demetrius wasn't going to do that until he knew he was going to be Sabrina's choice. That's what that's really about.
Well, he feels like they're locked in, but that's clearly not the case because he lets Sabrina know that his family is in town.
Oh yeah,
and he wants to invite her to meet his family, and Sabrina says she doesn't think that's a good idea. She doesn't think that they're there yet. Which is a shocker. I think this is the first time in Ready to Love history that this shit has happened. And expect a motherfucking Virgo. The fuck?
She dropped the bomb. She was like, nope, I don't want to. I even told Nels.
She's like, she wants to be in a stronger place.
I told Nels off camera, I said, I didn't even think that you could do that on this show. Like you could decline. Like I thought it was part of, and then Nels said, well, I didn't think you could stand up the host either, but they doing it. I said, well, damn, this is a crazy ass season.
We got a lot of new.
I don't want to do it. Woo. Ready to Love. I don't know what y'all gonna do.
Expect some goddamn DMV. It's a DMV area. Shit.
I don't know what. Look, if you think it's bad now, I don't know what y'all gonna do with Miami. Good luck. Kia goes to meet up with Paul's brother, Kellen, who's a handsome fella. Okay, Kellen. Hey, Kellen. So
his younger brother.
Yep. Okay, Kellen. Hey, Kellen. So, Kellen said, hey. So, Kellen says that Paul has said great things about her, but he wants to know about her for himself, of course. So she lets him know she was born and raised in DC. Go ahead, girl.
Real DC.
Right. Top of her class, engineer at NASA, and owns a whole dance studio, which I follow, which those little girls are beautiful.
And went to Pitt.
Right. So, basically she's like, he asked her like why she's there looking for love. And she says she's not really looking for love, but she's open to the opposite. Like she knows she's a great woman and she has something to offer. So why not put herself out there? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So then he basically tells her that Paul is the type of guy who really likes to lead in his relationships and be the head of his household type thing. And she says that she leads every day in her career. Girl, I love it. Kia, here for you. So she leads every day in her career. So when she comes home, she wants her opinion to be heard. She wants to be respected, but she does not necessarily always want to be the head or, head of the household. Mm-hmm. And I totally get that. I was like, girl, I get it. Basically, then he asked her and then she says, and this is what I love. She said, a relationship is about reciprocity. If you're not, you have to give and you have to take. And if it's not about that, why are we doing it? We have to feed off of each other. It can't be one. This is why we like Takia, y'all. She just makes sense. So then Kellen says there's been a lot of times Paul has given women too many chances. And then I think Paul was like, okay, you kind of selling me out, bro. That's not, and he's like, well, what he means is that,
his past marriage.
In past marriage, or, you just hang on too long, hoping that people will recover or they'll change. And, and I can respect that. You want to give, I'm not even going to be mad at you for that, Paul, because I'm the same way.
I think everybody can respect him for that because everybody does that. Yeah.
I don't think everybody does that. I don't. I don't.
I don't think they do it with everyone.
Okay.
But I think that everyone has done it in a relationship.
Right. So then Dakia asks, well, what do you think that Paul needs? And Kellen says, basically, if you're in a car,
you need
to give directions and trust him to drive.
And without telling him to switch lanes or slow down or speed up. Go on, speak on the trees. Go on. Because we know you got something to say.
I am not that girl. I trust my dude to drive all day. Don't always like it, but I trust him to drive.
So Dakia leaves, and Paul wants to know how his brother feels about her. And he says that she's amazing. She's amazing, but she was giving a lot of textbook answers. And Paul is saying that she was, but he just doesn't really understand Dakia. He doesn't really know her and the type of person she is. So Kellen lets him know, follow your heart, and you can never get the wrong answer. And Dakia in the confessional, she says that she sees a lot of potential in Paul, but she's nervous because she is still getting friend vibes. So this is possibly not looking like a love connection.
If you guys haven't already, please make sure that you like the video and you are subscribed.
And you hit the subscribe button.
Right. Go ahead, Nels.
Clifton, he gives nephew Tommy the rundown that Joy met his uncle and his cousin, and she fits right in. They're like, bring her around. We like her. Like, really. And he says that his only concern is that she travels for her career, which wish we would have knew this earlier. But I'm hoping it still works.
Said that. I was like, I just wish we had known this earlier. And not that said that's anything.
We were rooting for you.
We were rooting for you, Joy.
And then Paul says that, he met with his brother, and his brother feels like Dakia is the type of woman that he needs. Nephew Tommy says, so what is it about her that you didn't have in your prior connections? He says that she's 100% straightforward.
And he says, well, you didn't think any of the other women was straightforward?
Just no. I don't know.
And what I'm going to tell y'all my thoughts, I think Tommy smelled bullshit. Tommy was like, I'm not really, it seems like you're going to get along, to be along.
Because he's never really came at anybody like this. He even asked him, why did it take so long? And he just says, oh, it was just scheduling. But he really wants a chance to get to know her and, go on another date with her and see who she truly is. Tommy basically says,
you're at the end of the road, bruh.
So then they move on to Donovan. Donovan lets him know that he had a conversation with Sabrina, and she still met him with some resistance. She took no accountability for anything. And Tommy's like, okay, I need you to be clear. What is it that she's not owning up to? And he says, oh, she's not owning up to the fact that she was teetering between me and Demetrius. So I thought you said why that you didn't want her to make a decision. Because when Sabrina said it, that you wanted her to let you know whether it was you or Demetrius, you said she's lying. That didn't sound like a lie to me, because you just said she was teetering and you wanted a clear. Okay, well, so he said that he preferred to go with someone who he felt was solid and had his back, who was also open and vulnerable. So he introduced his mother to Carmen. And we all know that they got along.
That meeting went very well.
Just peachy. And then Demetrius says that, he met with Sabrina, and they had a conversation. He asked her to meet his family, and she declines because she didn't want to do that unless they were in the best light. everybody was floored.
Right. Nephew Tommy was floored. He was like, this is I can appreciate Nephew Tommy for this. He said, look, I believe in this process. I don't do this just to do it. Yes, they're giving me a check, but I believe in this process. So this was a very important assignment that was a part of the process. Mm-hmm. And Demetrius, I need you to take Sabrina out and figure out where she really stands, because I would feel some type of way if a woman who claims she's ready to love or be in my life cannot sit and break bread with my family. And I said, Nephew Tommy, they need you over at Lifetime and every other show we review. We here for it.
I told you. To close, he tells them next week they have one last night, and it's going to be hot. And that's all he's got to say.
And he walks off. So they're like, oh, Nephew Tommy's throwing
another curveball. They're like, it's the season finale. You still throwing curveballs, sir? The hell? So then Demetrius does take Sabrina out on this date. They sit down and have a conversation, and Sabrina lets him know that she loves the dark sage color that he's wearing. And I actually like that color too. So I feel you, girl. So I don't know why she couldn't just tell him that he looked good, but
right.
So he is also saying the same thing that Donovan is saying. He wants to rebuild trust by being open and vulnerable. So I don't know if he's not getting that from her as well, but he lets her know that he met with Nephew Tommy and let him know that she declined to meet his family. So she was like, okay, you know what? I'm glad you brought this up. I want to talk to you about this, I guess, to clarify what she was thinking or her thought process. She says that her dad will not even meet a boyfriend. The man that she brings home has to already want her hand in marriage in order for her dad to meet him. So I guess she's seen it as something more serious than Demetrius did because of this.
Right. And I think I said that last scene. I was like, yeah, it's probably more serious for her.
Mm-hmm. But she does let him know that they have an emotional disconnect.
Sabrina threw a curveball, y'all.
It's not something that she wants to overlook lightly. She says that he's a good person, but she doesn't think that he's her person.
I said,
yeah, what? She says basically it is what it is. They both have reservations about each other, but he says that he basically says, yeah, but I was ready to move forward and build.
Right.
Yeah, she ain't here for it.
And she's like, I don't want to do that. Not with you.
She says she can't make decisions off of the future.
She said I don't know. I guess maybe this is some Virgo shit. Maybe y'all are trying to do it lightly. Pisces just come out and say the shit and then apologize later for how it sounded, but we still meant it.
We're usually pretty blunt. I think
I was gonna say that's not how we roll.
You're an ass.
She don't want to do it.
Oh my God. Basically, she said that she sees it as a sign of certain aspects that are not good. And as someone who was married previously, I can understand why she has these reservations. She doesn't want to get back into something that
is giving red flags.
Exactly. She basically says that she has to make her decision off of what she's feeling now. And I feel like she's explained this to him plenty of times over and over. And he's just like, yeah, I only give this to the woman who I'm with. And, I'm 100% too. So you want to wait till after the process to show me who the fuck you are. Work that way, homie. She says the only way she can make sure the larger journey of you falling in love outside of this process is to remove herself.
But talk about falling on the sword, because Because not only did you take him out, but take her out. She took herself out, but she took him out with her because he has no other connections.
Take him out. He decided to.
What other connections did he have at this point? She took him out as well.
He could have just got eliminated. Yes, I guess. I guess.
Look, you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
He said that his journey started with her and it's ending with her because, Teresa's right. That's his only connection. But he did. He is worried that maybe this was like a game to her, and maybe she didn't take it serious.
Because he said I was here ready to love.
I don't think it was a game to her. Like I said, Sabrina expected to see what you have to offer while in the process versus leaving the process. And I feel like this is like the other Sabrina from last season as well. You're showing me.
Shout out Sabrina, CO.
Yes. You're showing me that you're someone else, behind off camera, or, you pretend, or you're telling me that you can be something.
But you're not giving me that in real life.
You're not giving it to me. So why should I believe that that's going to change once we do this process? So
it ended with a double elimination, y'all.
And it looks like next week, we are meeting
on the finale.
On the finale. We are meeting the women's family.
Right. Before we head to decision day.
I just want to know why we didn't meet the men's exes. I just want to know.
I think that's important.
I think it's important too. Thank you guys.
Thank you for tuning in to another review of Ready to Love. We are on episode 11, getting ready to go to the finale. So thank you guys. Please make sure that you have liked, if you have not done that already.
You comment.
And you subscribe.
And hit the notification bell.
And please make sure that you are following us on all social media platforms at Shadeinthecity. All right, guys. We love you. Have a good weekend. Resurrection Sunday. Happy Easter. We love you. Mwah.
Mwah.
Catch you later.
Front, back, side to side. Make sure you go like and subscribe. Front, back, side to side. Make sure you go like and subscribe. Hey!